Hello my lovelies, welcome to Christy Grows. I'm Christy and today we're going to be talking about planting potatoes. I apologise in advance for my voice. I sound a bit off today because unfortunately this week we all contracted COVID, so it's been quite a week. There you go, that just sums it up, doesn't it? It's been a week, so today's my whole family's contracted it, all 6 of us, so today's the first day we're feeling a bit more human and I really want to get this out, so I thought today is a good day to do it. So Steve over at Digwell Greenfingers, check out his YouTube channel, he's got some brilliant videos on there. He is doing a fantastic challenge this year with fellow gardeners, so I'm really excited to take part. So the challenge is called the Single Seed Potato Challenge, and it's a competition to grow the biggest yield of potatoes from one single seed potato. So I got this a week ago now, on my day 1 of COVID, so this holds special memories for me now, Steve. So I had a peek at it earlier and I really want to get this in the ground now, and I've been thinking about how I actually want to do it. And before I saw this challenge, I had already put out all of my earlies and main crops into the ground on the allotment, and I've got some at the front as well in the front garden. So I didn't really think anything about it, and I just put them in. I just chitted them very lazily. I literally left them in the bag. I bought them from Wilco's. I just bought any type that I could find. So I got 3 different types. First earlies were Rocket, and then I had some Desiree and Maris Piper as main crops. And I just got the bags, left them in front of a window in the bags, and that's how I've chitted them. And then I've shoved them straight in the ground. I've kind of done a few different methods with them, so it's my first real attempt at growing. I've grown in tubs before potatoes, and they came out tiny as new potatoes. Absolutely delicious, but not really, you know, I didn't really try very hard with them. So this year I was really going full steam ahead. So I've got 1 bed on the allotment with them, straight into the ground, no dig, with a mulch of straw on top. I've got some 40-litre buckets with compost in, and I've dotted them around that with a small bit of mulch of straw on top of those as well. And then the same at home. I've got some new raised beds in the front garden, which is my shady, partial shade garden. So they're a real test because my plot is full sun, south facing. The front of the house is west facing, so it gets about 4 to 6 hours of sun in that corner. So again, I've done the same. So I've done raised beds, 1 with just soil, 1 with soil, no dig soil, planted into the soil with a little bit of straw. So I'm just going to see how they grow, and I've kind of tested 3 different ways of growing the potatoes that way, but I didn't think about it and I just shoved the potato in and that was it. But with this challenge I was thinking more, and if we have a look at the potato I'll explain. So this, I was thinking more about it, and for this I want to look at it more in respect of how many, well, obviously the challenge is how many potatoes and how much weight can we get from 1 potato yield. And then I was thinking about what's going on around us at the moment and how can we extend this to be, you know, how can we grow food for free? So, you know, in essence, you know, apart from the postage of this is a free potato I was given. So, you know, I'm already starting with a free potato. So you could get a free potato, you could just, you know, ask to have a potato out of a bag from any of your friends, neighbours, family. So you can have one potato, okay? And you chip that on the windowsill, and that's a free seed that you can have. So this is my free seed here. This is how I'm looking at it. Now you want to grow, I want to see how much we can grow from that, and as much as possible, obviously. So I was thinking, how am I going to do that without, we're spending as little as possible, because this is my free potato, and can we grow food for free? So after thinking about it, I've decided that what I'm going to do is chop this up. So as you can see, I've got a few chits on here. So I've got one. This one's actually looks like it's got 3 chits very close together. So I'm going to try an experiment, because you can see lots of roots. Sorry, there you go. If you can see lots of roots coming off these chits. So, or tubers. I'm going to see if I can take one off and plant that inside and grow that on first as a plant, and then leave one on there. And then you see I've got another chit and another chit here. So technically I've got 3 big chits, but here there's 3 on here. So I'd say there's actually 5. But I've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, and at least another 4 eyes on this potato. So I'm going to cut this, cut these chits, and then leave it for a day or 2 to dry. And then, as an experiment, I'm going to try and remove one of these top chits here and plant it as a separate plant. But otherwise, the rest I'm going to split the potato into the chits. And then once those wounds have healed in a couple of days, I'm going to put them on my allotment into open ground. And I'm going to do it my no dig way. So literally I'm just going to use my finger to make a little hole, dot in that chit. So I should have at least 3 or 4 chits, pieces of potato from these chits. So I'm going to dot those in on the open ground, and then I've got some plastic which I want to get away from, but because I'm trying to grow this for free, I don't want to use compost and mulch and things, because in essence you've got to buy them for the majority of time. But I've got a compost bag, which actually I did get from a fellow gardener when I was trying to do kind of, I was sheet mulching with them over the winter, before I started using straw and compost and things. So I'd still have this left over. So essentially you can, obviously, you can do this in your back garden or your front garden or anywhere. So you've got the ground that is free. You've got the seed potato that is free that you can get from a neighbour. It's 1 potato. I'm sure any neighbour will give you a potato, or a family member. And then you can get this, you could even use a black plastic bag, you know, you don't want to really buy extra, but this is, I'm going to use a compost bag, which is black polythene. I'm going to open it up and use that as a cover for the potato, and then just let it grow. And I'm going to experiment to see how successful that is. So that's going to work in 2 ways. It's going to keep the light from getting to the potato. It's also going to warm the potato and the ground, because it's black plastic, so that's going to warm everything up. And I'm just going to leave a slight hole open where I'm going to plant it into that plastic. And that's my plan. And then we'll see whether this little chit grows in the pot. I'm going to grow it as a little tiny chit seed, and see if that's possible, just because I'm intrigued by it. And then I'll dot that in as well. So I'll do the same thing. I'll just make a little hole in the bag and put it in. And we'll do that. So that's my plan. Hopefully I'll get the biggest weight of potatoes. Oh, and also I'm going to fertilise it with potash. So I have a log burner at home, so it's not technically free, but it is a byproduct, it is a waste product, so it's not a fertiliser I'm buying. So again, you can get potash from, you know, friends or neighbours, or family who have a log fire, so you could get that for free from them. So there is potential to get these things for free. And because I have it, I'm going to use that. So I'm going to put that in the hole first and use that as a fertiliser and fertilise the soil around before I put the black polythene bag on top. And that is my plan for my single seed potato challenge. So next, I think we should give this a bit of a chop. So I'm going to take myself off camera, I'm going to chop this up, and then I am going to, I'll do another video when I go down to the allotment. I'm not sure when that's going to be, sometime this week probably, but it is going to be raining all week now, and I'm still not feeling brilliant, so I just want to get this chopped up. I'm getting out of breath already talking. So I am going to chop this up, and I just want to get it chopped and dried so it is ready to go in, and then I'll make a video when I plant it all up. But that is my plan for the single seed potato challenge. So yes, wish me luck, and good luck to all the other gardeners that are taking part. It's really exciting seeing all the different videos of how everyone has their own way planting potatoes, but I'm really excited to see actually what comes of this single potato. But I just thought I'd add that extra dimension, because if you can do that, then, you know, potatoes are a staple, aren't they? So if this is successful, then you could easily, you know, do this for free, you know, in any ground that you have around your home. And so we'll see. Yeah, so that's my plan. Thank you, Steve, for letting me take part. Let's get this chopped up and pot up that chit, and I'll speak to you soon. So, can you see I've got some great chits here? So starting with this, I'm going to try to remove this chit first. And here I've got a toilet roll tube, so again free, and I've just got some soil from my garden. It is compost, but it's what I gathered from the recycling centre, where you can go and get free compost, which is made from our green waste. So technically it's free. There you go. So I'm going to pop it in there. So I'm just going to try and remove this chip first. I don't want to damage the chip, because obviously it's going to remove it otherwise. So there's that little chip there. I don't know if you can see the roots on it very well. So I'm going to pop that one in there as a little test, and grow that on, and then I'll just put that in the ground. So that's the only one I'm going to grow inside and then transplant. And then the rest of these I'm going to grow outside. See, annoyingly I just rubbed off that chip there, so that would have been a chip. So we've got a chip there, those two there. Oh, there's actually two there. Okay, well, I'm going to start. Is that going to be, that's got that chip. There you go. That's one chip. So we'll just leave that to dry. Right, there's some chip. There's a few chips here, so I'm going to cut these chips off. That's that big chip. It's got a tiny chip there as well that can come up, that eye. So that may well spring something. There's an eye here. So There's an eye there, so I'm going to dry that and then see whether I can get that to chit before I plant it. And then, here we go. There we go. Again, there's an eye there, so I'm going to try and chit that. I'll try and bring that on first, and then you've got those 2 chits there. So it's whether I'm going to try and split it even further. So there you go. 1, 2 chits. Split that. 3. So I've got 4 chits, and then I've got 2 eyes. So I'm going to leave those and see if I can chit those eyes. Otherwise, they're unnecessary anyway. So I've got the chits. So I've got 4 chits. If I leave those there, and I've got my 5th chit in here. So potentially, if I do get those 2 eyes to chit, I could have another 2. So that'd be 7 chits and 7 potential plants from that 1 seed potato. So you can see by my eyes how excited I am. So yeah, so I'm just going to leave them on the window there to dry off and grow this one on. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on how that goes, but hopefully we'll grow lots and lots of potatoes. And I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Steve. This is a really fun challenge to do this year. So happy gardening, everyone. Stay safe, keep well, drink lots of herbal teas. It really does help. Okay, bye for now.